So we're back. We're back again with another trade breakdown. Yesterday's trade. Yesterday was the 2nd of September. And we took the first trade of the month. Lately, we've been on a really bad run, and I kind of wanted to reset going into the month. So I reset the account, everything. So like I'd start afresh, so my mind isn't on drawing down. I start with a fresh account. So going into yesterday, looking at a 4 hour at the 4 hour time frame, start at a high time frame. My drawn liquidity was this 4 hour imbalance. Overall, we were looking bearish. We shifted structure to the downside. I think we had a daily change in the state. We ran a daily fair value gap here, rebalanced. I think there was a daily imbalance here. Here we came back. We had a bearish SMT. So to me, this was all balanced price range, and also here too we were this was all balanced price range, and we were right here this low, and I want to see price come back up at least into this 4 hour bearish fair value gap. So that was my drawn liquidity going into yesterday. It was all balanced price range. We had a high time frame SMT, and we had high time frame change this day, so we were really bearish, and I wanted us to see a continuation, but the drawn liquidity yesterday was that 4 hour imbalance. So I was bullish yesterday, came into the day with a bullish bias, first trading day of the week, and that 4 hour is also this 1 hour fair value gap. So, and looking at a 15 minute, we had relative equal highs just below that imbalance. We had relative equal highs. So I had a really good bias. So going into open, I wanted to see manipulation is 9:30 open. We want to see manipulation, then continuation to the upside. Then looking at a 4 hour price open, we took the slope on Nasdaq on Nas 100, but we didn't on the S&P 500. So we had a bullish SMT, and I won't lie. My drawn liquidity was so strong to the upside that literally the first chance I had to enter, I just stab longs. So 9:30 opens, come back, we take out a low, we have a bullish SMT, we take out this internal low, we have an internal sweep, and then price pushes to the upside. And I think what I took was a 1 minute change in the state. It was a 1 minute change in the state. I didn't even wait for the high time frame change in the state. I just took the 1 minute change in the state. Um, Price is just getting lost. I took off a 1 minute change in the state instantly once I saw us get above those series of the unclosed candles. My God, why is it taking so long to find this? My laptop is completely slow, bro. Um, here we go. So 9:30 opens. We generate sell side. We generate sell side. And what happens at open? We dump. We run this recent low. We have a bullish SMT on a high time frame, and we have a 4 hour bearish fair value gap above us. So we want to see price come up, and so once we get above here, this 1 minute change in state, see us close aggressively above this down close candle. There's also a bearish fair value gap getting ran. Saw us close aggressively. That was the entry, right? Yeah, about that. So saw us close aggressively above that. Stops below the recent low, and it looked like a pretty good trade. And I'm gonna explain to you guys why I'm saying that. And my drawn liquidity was those relative equal highs. I don't know if we're gonna see it here. My drawn liquidity was those relative equal highs. Let's go on a like 3 minute. I think we're gonna be see better. My drawn liquidity just targeting those relative equal highs, stacked highs, and of course we had a 4 hour imbalance above. So this is what happens. I let the trade run. We come up, we take out all these highs. Uh, S&P 500 bearish SMT. Of course, I'm not worried. I don't want to move my stop to break even yet, because there could be a possibility price just comes tap and then continue go up. So I leave my stops in place. I don't trail my stops. I don't move my stops, because I think it was last week it happened where price came back down, tapped me, and continued to my direction. So something crazy happened yesterday. What happened yesterday? We're almost at TP. Almost at TP. Look at that. We're almost at TP. Price almost hitting my take profit. Want to see how many points we away we were. Okay, that's not a good. we're about 50, just 50 points more. And how many points were we up at that moment? We are up. Uh, we were literally so close to TP. I wasn't thinking of taking partials. Reason being because I really thought we had a strong draw to the upside. We were up above 150 points, so 50 points more. So that was about a 210, 220 point move. So I don't move my stop. Price moves, pushes up. I see that we're kind of leading to uh wanna go bearish, but there's about, I think there's 15-minute imbalances here, so and an order block down here, so price could come back. And the S&P 500 was weak, so I thought that we might take this low on the S&P 500 and have a bullish SMT, and I wasn't sure how deep we'd go down to form that SMT low on the Nas 100, so that's why I didn't move my stop loss. So what happens? Price moves up 10:30. Price ends up pulling back, taps right where my stop is at that low, taps right at that low. So at this very moment, I learned a new lesson: never to put my stop at the low, just a little bit below the low, because now we formed relative equal lows. The low of that candle, 22981.2. The low of this candle is 22981.4. So really close, really close. It came back. I think it was spread that. Is this 122.4? Okay, it's point 0.3. But price ends up coming back, tapping me up, stopping me up, and I'm not at the charts at this moment. It's 12 o'clock. I just let the trade do what it does. It comes right down, and guess what price does after that? You guessed it. It flew right to my TP. This is one of the dirtiest trades I've ever seen, bro. Dirty. Like, there was no reason for price to come back right at the slow right here. We formed the bullish SMT S&P 500, but the way Nas 100 was looking so bullish, I really didn't think it would form the SMT low that low. Literally like zero point 0.1 tick, 0.1 point higher than the from taking this low. It almost wasn't an SMT low. It almost swept this low and continued to push to the upside. So really dirty trade. Price ended up pushing up. Of course, I'm glad. One thing I'm glad about is the trade idea was a good setup. But lately, I've been having these kind of setups where prices just unfair, bro. Like, this move is a really great move. I think it's a really great entry. I think I did really good not moving my stop, because I really thought that low was safe, because it was a high time frame SMT low. So I really thought this low would not get stopped out, would not get taken out, would not get retested. But price ended up coming back. I didn't check on a 15 minute. What did we have on a 15 minute? Price ended up coming back, tapping me out, and hey, and price ended up pushing back to the upside. So that was the trade. Though took those relative equal highs, tapped into the 4 hours. So going into today, Wednesday, I don't think I'm gonna trade today. I'm not gonna have the time to. I don't know. I don't want. Um, if this 4 hour fair value gap holds, and possibly, which I doubt it's gonna hold, then I look for continuation to the downside, especially after printing those relative equal lows. So what might happen? Maybe we have something on the daily. I don't know. Price might end up, and we're still holding this daily fair value gap. Tricky, tricky situation. Very tricky situation. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see later today. We don't want to. There's still a lot of more candles to be printed before market open. Right now, it's about 5 a.m. New York local time. It's about 11 a.m. here in South Africa, standard South African time. So that was yesterday's trade breakdown. Really did me dirty, but good setup, good risk. I'm happy with the risk. I'm happy I didn't go crazy yesterday, and I really think this is a good loss to take. Of course, I'm not happy I took the loss. first trade of the month. Kind of sets the tone, but I mean, it was a good loss to take, so I'm not beating myself up for that. So that was the trade breakdown. That was a trade, and till next time.